Good afternoon, students. This will be the last session, last class for your history, chapter 2, the Vedic period. We will be dealing in this part 5, class division. Why there is a class division and why it was in a different manner, practiced in a different manner in the early Vedic period and the later Vedic period. The thing was that in early Vedic period, society was divided into different classes based on profession, on their work. Whereas in the later Vedic period, it was totally based on caste system, which we call Varna, and it became very, very rigid. Caste system was divided into Brahmins, Kshatriya, Vaishyas, and Shudras, and it became very distinct class. When we talk about later Vedic period, the whole lifespan of Aryans came to be divided in 4 stages. Again, they divided the life of a human being into different stages. They are Brahmacharya ashrams, Grihastha ashram, Vanaprastha, and Sannyasa. Over here also you can see the dissimilarities in the early Vedic period. They used to grew up according to their family traditions, whereas in the later Vedic period the whole lifespan of an Aryan came to be divided into 4 periods like we discussed, and it had duration of 25 years. In Brahmacharya ashram, it lasted up to the age of 25 years. During this period, the pupil was expected to acquire knowledge in the Gurukul and observe strict discipline. Then, Grihastha ashram, man was supposed to marry and raise a family as a householder, and the period lasted from 25 to 50 years. Then the third stage was Banaprastha ashram. It lasted from the age to 50 to 75 years. During this period, man was expected to retire from worldly life and acquire spiritual and philosophical knowledge. The last stage, lasting from the age of 75 to 100 years, was the Sannyasa ashram. This was the period of renunciation. Man had to leave everything forever and go into meditation in order to attain moksha or salvation. Next important feature that we can see in the Vedic period is the education system. Education was imparted through private gurukuls. The resident of the guru, called the gurukul, meaning the family of the guru, had become the most sacred institution. So the main thing taught over there was guru was greatly respected and revered. Main object of education was to bring about physical, mental, and spiritual development. Next comes your food, dress, and amusements, and those things which were done by the people of Vedic period. In the early Rig Vedic period, people used to produce barley, while in the later Vedic period, people started producing rice. So the clothes they wore were called nivi or dhoti, vasa or shirts or adivasa. So the means of amusement was chariot races, horse races, dancing, singing, and hunting. So all these things were done and practiced by the people of Vedic period. So what type of religious belief was developed by the people in the Vedic period? The people in the Vedic age worshipped forces of nature. They personified these natural forces and looked upon them as living beings to whom they gave human or animal attributes. A large number of gods are mentioned in the Rig Veda. The most important among these gods was Indra, to whom 250 hymns are devoted in the Rig Veda. In the later Vedic age, Prajapati, the creator or Brahma, became the supreme god, and Indra and Agni lost their former significance. Sacrifices and rituals with religious evolution, simplicity of nature, worship was lost. Rituals and sacrifices became a daily routine. Besides the yajnas performed by the king, the common people performed small yajnas during which all sorts of commodities like milk, ghee, grain, and fruits were offered to the deities. Whereas during such yajnas performed by rich people, they conducted bigger sacrifices. Next is the doctrines. The Brahmins were responsible for bringing about many innovation and evolving new doctrines that lays emphasis on tapasya, which became ritualistic. The new doctrines included the doctrine of karma, action, dharma, duty, and moksha, salvation. When we talk about the economy of Rig Vedic period, economy was primarily pastoral for Aryans. Cattle was synonymous with wealth. In the beginning, the main occupation was domestication of animals and agriculture was secondary, whereas in later Vedic period, agriculture became the chief occupation while domestication of animals also continued. We discuss about the trade and occupation. In the Rig Vedic period, cattle was the important source of wealth, whereas in later Vedic period, land was the important source of wealth. Many people engage in trade and commerce, dyeing, embroidery, carpentry, weaving, pottery, crafts in gold and iron were important occupation, whereas in later Vedic period, traders, guilds had come up and trade had become very important. Besides occupation of earlier period, many new occupation like physician, musician and many other profession emerged. At the end of the lesson, I want to give you some question answers. Question number 1, what is meant by Vedic culture? Question number 2, why was the early Vedic literature known as Shruti? Question number 3, name the 4 Vedas. Question number 4, what are the Dharma Shastras? Question number 5, mention the importance of epics. Question number 6 is, what are known as Varna Ashramas? With this last question, we come to the end of the chapter. Thank you.